It's showtime.
To show you.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. This is episode number 160. Believe it or not, we got 160 out of these under the belt. And in that opening, Vincent Price never looked so good. Wax face or not. Let's go ahead and bring up our able-bodied assistants. Major Hazzard and Master Sergeant Havoc.
It's good to be here, General, as always. We're reporting for duty. We got a great special guest. We love Elana. We're going to learn a lot today.
When are we ever going to see you again?
No, because I got things to do. Really I got things to do. I'm taking pictures for somebody special in my life. I can't be showing you what I'm showing somebody else right now.
No. So not that double secret assignment again?
Oh, it's definitely double secret. It's double secret. It's somebody that you know, and it's a special. Thank you. It is a special assignment. Thank you. I should have just said that from the outset. It's very special indeed.
Well, there you go.
Yes, you are very special.
I got to keep up with the Joneses because sometimes like attention strays because people get like in a rut. They get bored of one another, and you got to up the ante, so I'm not saying nothing about myself or my relationship, but I'm just saying sometimes you got to push those boundaries a little bit and show them what you got. You know what I mean? So you can keep their attention on you.
Okay. I have no idea what she went. She went off on a tangent.
Don't be even thinking about it. Don't let your imagination go there, General. It's not for your emotions to be talking about.
My imagination went somewhere that probably shouldn't have gone, but
let's just bring it back to the moment. This is about the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmares.
Let's bring it back.
You're dating Roland, right?
Of course, I'm talking about the BDE.
Okay.
He's got the BDE, which means it's like the Kavorka, like all the women are chasing after him. So I got to keep up with the Joneses. There ain't no shame in that. You know what I mean? I got to keep his attention where it belongs.
Ain't no shame in the game.
Okay.
Exactly. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
There you go.
So this is a kind of a weird episode because this is the only time we're probably going to be doing a Disney training film. All right. I'm just saying. Disney does not make a lot of training films about monsters. Okay, so we are doing A Nightmare Before Christmas on this particular show. Jack Skellington and such, and Halloween Town, Christmas Town, all that nonsense. And we have a special guest, and I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. Please let's welcome Elana Lange. I hope I spelled that or said that correctly.
Lange.
Lange.
But
Lange.
Am I supposed to salute you or something?
No. Well, I salute.
Thank you, General.
You don't have a rank. You're not military.
Right.
No, civilians don't.
Thank you for having me.
But yeah, I salute, people who come on the street, and but you don't have to salute back. It's okay. And you can call me Lem. my first name's Lemuel. You can call me Lem. Sorry, the pronunciation wrong.
That's fine.
I said Lange, like Lozenger. Lange.
Yeah, it's actually just Lange. Pretend there's no E at the end.
Like Elana Lange.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I said Lange, because I thought there was an E on the end of it.
There is an E at the end of it.
Yeah.
So I say there's an E in the beginning of my name and the E in at the end. Just cross those out and you got Elana Lange. It's easier.
Well, okay.
There you go.
All right. That's one way to remember that. Okay, good. So you know a lot about this film. So
I'm a big fan of this film.
when we found out we were going to do this, you said, "Can I be your guest?" And I was like, "Well, certainly. I've seen you on other shows
Thank
here,
you.
Cosmos, and yeah." So there it is. So okay. So let's go ahead and start our timeline. This is a Disney film. So I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be showing that logo on this show, but there it is. Nightmare Before Christmas. And Hazzard just showed it one more time just to smack me in the face with it. You're doing Disney. So third time. So we go into this forest, which is the season. This is like the happy forest of, what we call it, holiday towns. This is the crossroad to holiday towns, and you see the trees that have the different doors on them. One of them has a Halloween thing on it. One of them has a Christmas tree on it. One of them has like an Easter bunny kind of thing on it, or an Easter egg, and there it is. So we go into the Halloween tree. And inside, there's all kinds of spooky stuff floating around in the air as we head down to that town. And we start the film. This is a musical, by the way. We start the film, and the music is by Danny Elfman from Oingo Boingo. And he does the voice of Jack Skellington when he's singing. This is the weird part. Jack Skellington when he's singing is Danny Elfman. Jack Skellington when he's talking is Chris Sarandon, who we've, had on. Well, we haven't had him on the show. I've invited him, but he hasn't come on. But he was in Child's Play, and he was in
Fright Night. He was the vampire in Fright Night.
He's the vampire. Yep. He was in our opening credits last season.
Yep.
Laughing with the fangs.
One of the Major's favorite scenes.
Yes, she loves that scene.
Yep.
Don't you, Major?
I'm a little distracted because of the secret assignment. So if I do something a little crazy here and there, or if accidentally my camera come on, just pretend you didn't see nothing, okay?
Okay. So that is the clown with the tearaway face. That's also Danny Elfman singing that character or doing that character. And this is a Tim Burton film. Beetlejuice and all that.
Now I gotta say though, while I choke myself, actually, people think that Tim Burton directed it.
No,
but actually, no. It's a guy named Henry Selick directed it.
Correct.
But Tim Burton was responsible for the all the weirdness, all the weird.
He's the producer on this,
and
he's the creator of the story, the characters, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, but yes, you're correct. Somebody else who does animation directed it, and yep. My guess is that Tim Burton said, "Okay, I'll let you do this as an animation if you do it kind of like the animation from the old Christmas animation specials that we used to see when we were kids." Because it kind of is a nod to that. It kind of has that kind of feel to it.
The old Rankin Bass shows.
Yeah, the Rankin Bass thing. We actually did one of those. We did
Mad Monster Party.
Mad Monster Party.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Interesting.
That's kind of a holiday movie.
I heard Tim Burton. Wait, can we go back to Danny Elfman for a second? Because I thought this was kind of interesting. So the reason why Danny Elfman sings but doesn't talk is because he wrote the music. Right, exactly, which I always thought was really interesting, that he can sing act, but as soon as he starts talking acting, they're like, you gotta stop.
No.
Yeah.
Stick to singing. Stick to singing.
No, stick to singing.
Yeah.
So, again, I never heard. Probably should have researched, but I never actually heard that. But in my mind, that's what it always.
That's exactly what happened.
Like,
Danny
well,
Elfman.
why is he not acting? Well, because he can act.
Danny Elfman owns that completely. It's a nice little fact.
So we start with "This Is Halloween." Is the first song? And again, what I was saying is because this is a Tim Burton helmed project, he's the producer. There's a lot of the same people that you see in Tim Burton stuff. Catherine O'Hara's in it. She plays Sally and Shock. And Paul Rubens is in it. Pee Wee Herman, he does Locke in it. Danny Elfman is Beryl. So Danny Elfman again plays other characters, but basically he just sings.
Only when he's singing.
Yeah. Oogie
That's
Boogie is played by Ken Page. Dr. Finkelstein is played by the wonderful William Hickey, older. He's the teacher that took over at Juilliard for John Houseman when John Houseman retired.
Yep.
He's done a lot of stuff. But I think my favorite character in this, well, there's a couple. Santa Claus is kind of a jerk in this, which I like. I don't know why I like it so much, because I guess we've never seen that kind of take on Santa Claus. He's like this real pompous kind of, well, of course I can fix it. I'm Santa Claus. One of those.
Andy Paul, yeah.
Played by Edward Ivory. And Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Plays the demon devil character, and he plays the sax player. What's going on, Daddy? That's him, believe it or not. And
wow.
And what I really like, Glenn Walters plays the Wolfman.
Not to get weird or anything, but am I the only one who thought that Sally was kind of hot?
No, Sally's very pretty. She's very beautiful.
No. I mean,
she's Jetson hot, but I mean, come on.
she's
in a ragdoll kind of way.
With you, she is a very popular a Halloween costume. A lot of girls dress up like her and do the blue makeup and the stitches and everything. For Halloween. She's kind of a hot costume, up there with Pirate Girl and Devil Girl, and So the other one needs mentioning is there's a little kid called the Corpse Kid. this fat little, really, really ugly kind of kid with this really high-pitched voice, and it's Debbie Durst who does a lot of voice work, and his mom, the Corpse mom, is also played by Debbie Durst, and Durst is so good at what she does. She's the small witch in it as well. So she plays 3 characters in the movie. I don't think anybody's got 3 characters in it. Oh, except Elfman, but he only sings. So Jack, he finishes off the Halloween song with a big flourish with fire and everything, and he comes up out of the oozing well kind of pond thing. And everybody's clapping, and he seems a little like, okay, yeah, thanks, folks, yeah, whatever. And he walks off to, I guess, his favorite quiet place, which is like a pumpkin patch kind of thing there with the moon and the kind of swoopy thing. That's what I'm going to call it, the swoopy thing.
Swoopy thing. It's like a soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, it does.
It's melting.
Yep.
It's a very strange cherry on top.
It's a candy kiss. That's what it is. It's an evil candy kiss.
There you go.
So he's singing about how every year it's the same thing, and he's bored, and he's just kind of tired of it, of the whole Halloween thing. And meanwhile, Sally is like watching him. She's stalking him. So, and that candy kiss point comes down when he walks down it. It kind of just works for him. It's like a little staircase thing for him. So And again, it's Danny Elfman singing. He gets more work in this than Chris Sarandon, that's for sure.
Yep.
Oh, and I almost forgot my favorite character, the mayor.
The
Yeah.
mayor.
The mayor is played by the Two-Face mayor, which I like to call it, is played by Glenn Gaddix, who is Otho in
Oh, no way.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I-
Oh, she's just upset because somebody dropped a house on her sister.
Nice.
That's him. Oh, Jack. Jack, I'm just an elected official. I can't do anything by myself. I love his character.
That's a great line. That's one of my favorite lines of his.
That's coming up in just a minute. And again, whenever he gets kind of upset, his little head spins around and you get the bad.
I love that.
Little Two-Face mayor,
Yeah.
Two-Face politician. So, Sally watches him sing this song, and she realizes, oh my gosh, he's bored and he's tired of being the king of Halloween. And Zero is his dog, by the way. He's a dead dog. He's a ghost dog.
Little ghost dog with the
Yeah.
got that shiny nose, which comes in later. But
Yes, nice little nod to Rudolph. And I can't even see what the hell's going on here. But he's walking.
There's our mayor.
he's walking.
There's the mayor. He's walking through the woods towards the area where they have the doorways to all the little holiday towns. So there's the mayor, Jack. I've got plans for next year's Halloween. This is like, minutes after Halloween is ended.
Oh, there you can see both of his faces. That's
Yes.
perfect. I love that part.
Jack! And he falls down the stairs. He's so distraught. He falls right down the stairs.
Yeah, he's a little clumsy.
And he
I like the little spider
he has a
necktie.
live
he's got.
spider. He has his tie,
Mhm.
like a bolo tie.
Yeah.
So he's got the plans. So he's a stitch. He really is, literally. So yeah, he falls down the stairs when Jack does not answer the door, and the guy at the bottom of the door for the band says, "Oh yeah, he's been gone all night, dude." Yeah.
It should have been Keanu Reeves playing that part. That would have been funny.
I kind of like Greg Proops.
No, yeah,
He's
good.
all right.
He's good.
So Jack and Zero come up to the trees, the crossroads. If you walk far enough through the woods, you'll come to the crossroads to the holiday towns.
Yep.
And you can go through the doorway to Christmas Town. And I wonder what happens if you go through the doorway with a heart.
Valentine Town, yeah.
Valentine Town.
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen if you go through the Shamrock. You're just going to get really wasted drunk. It's St. Patty's Day. Welcome to St. Patty's Day town. It's time to fight get drunk, lad.
There you go. You got there's potential. Exactly. There's potential for sequels right here. Right here.
There is.
He says he doesn't want to do a sequel. He's or a prequel.
I watched the making of today, and I'll speak a little bit more about that. But after watching the making of, I don't think there's time for him to do a sequel. This is a huge project.
Yeah, they probably have to do it in that CGI thing.
It took how long did it take to make this?
It took 10 years.
It took 10 years?
It started with Tim Burton having in his head roughly what he wanted to do, but not having it set. And then Danny Elfman would say, Tim, explain a couple things to me. And then Danny Elfman would do the music for it. And that's how they did it. So they had the book, and then it goes to, because he insisted on stop animation because he wanted it to be like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I think it's brilliant because of that. And it's so amazing. But they were showing every single frame, and they have to they said they had over 200 puppets, and each puppet has like, I don't even know how many heads.
I had read somewhere that they had that Jack Skellington had over 150 heads.
I mean, I just saw there were like these foam pieces, these foam sheets with the heads in it, and it just like never ended. So I kudos to the people that made this, because I would never have the patience ever for that. But it is brilliant, and it's also very, very Tim Burton, and I love that.
It's got that dark, twisted feel to it, you know.
Right. I love that.
Especially when he takes over Christmas, starts doing it his way.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's a turkey on a tree. There's a, you know, an Easter egg. What would happen if you went in those other trees? You know, we could pontificate all night.
Well, hopefully, if you go in Thanksgiving Town, you don't become the turkey, because it's a door you wouldn't want to walk through.
See, now that would be an interesting sequel, because they get to carve up the turkey. What would Jack do with the stuffing? So he ends up in Christmas
I am in
Town.
love with the visuals, like that to me about these movies. That I mean, of course, I grew up also watching, you know, those stop animation movies, and I love them so much.
Right.
And this is so.
My favorite one of those is The Year Without a Santa Claus, because it's got the Heat Miser and the Cold Miser brothers.
I had forgotten about that one, but yeah.
That one stands out above all the others for me. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was the first one, and it's good, and you know, you got Burl Ives and everything, but again, you know, Dick Shawn as Cold Miser, you know, I just and Irving, I want to say George Irving, does the Heat Miser. Oh yeah. He's just such a snot. I love him. He's great. Oh yeah, well, Santa Claus wants to go out there in a bathing suit.
Those are great.
And he's the voice of the narrator for like Underdog. So
I loved Underdog when I was little.
Polly Purehead, Pure Heart. Polly Purehead was a James Bond girl.
That's the...
So he's looking down there, and hey, look at all those cool lights and everything. Go down there.
What's this?
There's happiness everywhere. There's music in the air.
So this is really kind of interesting too. They were talking about color palettes, and I love, you know, like the color palette here is very bright lights, and it looks like Christmas. Like the whole thing is just beautiful. Like
reds and greens.
We had I think it was the other show that the two of you do. We discussed Lynch and being, you know, having access into this dream
They look
world.
like us. They do.
I'm sorry?
They look like us. They do.
They do? Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot that you guys are general and major sergeant.
We get that mistake a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah, we
very similar.
We get their mail and everything. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Especially him with the beard. You know. Anyway.
Yeah, the beard.
Wow.
They both got that Duck Dynasty.
The likeness is just amazing.
So.
But I was talking to them, of course, about how David Lynch lets you into these dream worlds. And that's one of my favorite things about Tim Burton, too, is that when you're there, you're in like so many different dream worlds. And I love the connectors that you go through the trees and the different color palettes. And it's just, this is why it took
I want to go to St.
at least
Patty's
a decade. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. It's so.
So yeah, he's doing his thing where he's looking at everything and he's freaking out about everything, and he even disguises himself as a snowman. It was funny.
Yeah.
A nice touch. He's looking in the windows and the lights, and he sees the fireplace. It looks cozy, and there's pies everywhere. And what are you gonna do with those pies, boys? Different kind of pie.
Oh, that's still part of my favorite opening with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yep.
That was like season 3.
I know. Yeah.
A while back.
Anyway.
But yes, a lot of people liked it. What are you going to do with those pies, boys? Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Poor fella. Yeah. Gets melted by pies. But anyway, we digress.
So he finally bangs into a giant North Pole that has Christmastown, a sign Christmastown on the top of it. And that's when he realizes where he is. Christmastown? And then Santa Claus comes out and you see a shadow there in the snow. It's like, ho, ho, ho. And man, is he big. He's a big dude. So all right, so now the mayor's already making the announcement. Jack has disappeared. We're doomed. You know. Get the cat alarm. Cat alarm. And they hear that up in Dr. I think it's Finkelstein, right? Finkelstein,
yep.
He's supposed to be the Frankenstein, you know.
Yeah.
What I love even more, there's an assistant. He's got an assistant, and he's like so Igor. He's like, "Yes, master. I have the plans, master."
Yeah.
So Sally evidently likes to go out, and he doesn't want her to go out. You're not ready for that, Sally. You're not ready for the outside. So she has to dope his soup. She puts poison like witch hazel in his soup, and then she covers it up with frog's breath and stuff that stinks. Frog's breath? Why do you want frog's breath, Sally? But you like frog's breath. So again, William Hickey, this is probably one of my favorite roles he did next to Prizzi's Honor. He plays the Godfather in Prizzi's Honor.
I remember that movie. That was a good.
Would you like another cookie, my dear? So she fools him. She's got a wooden spoon with holes in it. And he goes, "You take a bite, a sip." And she fakes sipping, and then he scarfs it down, and he's out. She's conked him out, and then she can go to the town meeting because Jack is back, and he's in a kind of a snowmobile kind of thing. But it's a snowmobile kind of thing that goes on dirt. And he's got a big bag full of stuff. You know?
It's a dirt mobile.
It's a dirt mobile. I like it.
A dirt mobile. I like that too.
And this is a nice touch. It shows that Sally, even though she hates the guy, she has a heart. She puts a little blanket over him when she leaves.
Yeah. She's a good girl.
She's a good person, even though she just poisoned him. So he's out for the count because you can't kill Dr. Finkelstein. Not with poison. Yeah, that's too easy. So Jack addresses the township. Got a nice little spotlight on him there. And he goes into a song. So, sorry, Chris, we don't need you today. He's Christmas.
No non-singing acting.
Not today, Chris. Sorry. It's gonna be Danny again. More music. This really is Elfman's movie. I mean, more than any other Tim Burton film, this is Elfman's film. It really is. He is.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's a shame he can't act, but it did give Chris, a couple weeks work.
But the collaboration between the two of them, I mean, it's been amazing throughout the years. But in this particular movie, I didn't realize that was exactly what built the framework. You know, I didn't realize how involved Danny Elfman actually was.
Yeah.
And I'm a Elfman fan, and you know, he's very creative, he's very intelligent, and this is, I think, a brilliant movie.
His oompa 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 scores, I like them.
I love them.
I think the best riff on that was evidently in the Family Guy Star Wars, the first one. Evidently the stormtroopers killed John Williams. And it's the Aunt Beru death scene and Uncle Owen death scene, evidently, and they kill the orchestra and John Williams, and they go, oh no, they replaced it with Danny Elfman, and they say, and Luke actually kills him with a lightsaber.
That's funny.
So, but I like his scores. I do. I think he's one of the greatest composers in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And
definitely
great scores.
Yeah.
And he does movies, does TV, does it all.
Yeah. And we were
Oingo Boingo
to him in the late 80s.
80s. Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, I believe. Of course, it started with Tim Burton, but there was a movie with Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School, where
I saw it.
They're playing Dead Man's Party at the party.
Yeah.
And I think that's how he might have kind of gotten his foot in the door.
Yeah.
And
he did the theme to Weird Science.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Was that before Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I think it was after.
Okay, yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was the first one.
I don't remember which one.
So, but there was a CD. Actually, 2 CDs now. Sets, 2 CD sets. There's like 2 CDs in each set. That have all of his best themes. It's called Music for a Darkened Theater.
Nice.
So if you want all of his best stuff, it's in those CDs right there. And again, he did The Simpsons, he did Tales from the Crypt, the theme song. Oh my God, it goes on and on and on and on. Everything Tim Burton pretty much, except for Ed Wood. I don't know why he didn't do Ed Wood, but that was Howard Shore.
Yeah,
but he's a great composer. He's a very good composer. And
really
there's another composer that was from Devo, from the group Devo.
Yeah.
Mark Mothersbaugh.
Yeah, that does.
I think he's the one that's actually an attorney too. Is he the one that's? I'm pretty sure that he's a music lawyer also.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Is that him or is that
one of the Devo guys as an attorney?
I think so. Yeah.
No, for real. Like there is one of those bands. There's like a group of bands that was like Oingo Boingo and movies like Devo. Yeah, and one of like they're all these really, really intelligent people.
Yeah.
And then they went off to be whatever, and then they came back into the movie field. And I'm pretty sure Mothersbaugh is the one who's an entertainment lawyer.
There you go.
Because I was I thought that was so cool.
Reprobates on drugs.
I mean,
they actually have a day job.
Yeah.
Talk about having leverage, like.
That's funny. Oh yeah? You want to try to sue me about that? Oh.
Right. I'll sue you. Myself.
So Jack is trying to explain to the people of Halloween Town, the creatures of Halloween Town, I should say, about Christmas, and because he's all excited about it, but they're not grasping, they're not getting it. And so he kind of puts a Halloween spin on it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we like that. Oh, yeah." And Sally's watching, like, "Oh my God, this is going sour real fast." But even Jack doesn't totally understand Christmas. He's having a hard time wrapping his head around it. But he ends off with the Santa Claus. They call him Sandy Claus. And he's got him excited now. He got their attention. So he's up in his little tower there trying to figure out, how he can do Christmas, how he can take over Christmas, and what it's going to involve, that kind of thing. And he's doing little experiments and stuff in there, and again, he just doesn't understand why Christmas is so nice, and what they do is just so weird and creepy and foolish. And really, the story is about, be true to yourself, be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the message. Every story's got a message. Every story's got a moral, basically. And they're saying, leave well enough alone and do what you do best. That's what that's what you are. Don't try to take over somebody else's crap. Especially Santa Claus, because he gets pissed.
Yeah.
So, he puts, was it a holly berry, and crushes it. He doesn't know how to use a microscope.
Microscope, yep. I think he tries to make a snowflake, and it comes out a big old spider.
Yeah, he does with a scissor. Yeah, paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it comes out as a spider. He cuts open a teddy bear, which I think is nice and sadistic, and it's just stuffing. Yeah, I'll take this back to Thanksgiving town. Sorry, there's a callback. What is happening here now?
The professor, Dr.
Finkelstein.
Finkelstein's looking for Sally, who leapt out the window and splattered herself on the sidewalk.
Yes, it's one of the ways she gets out. She just jumps out the window and then sews herself back together again at the bottom.
I love that part.
I knew you'd be back, Sally. He's got one of her arms for this.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the dawn has come, and Jack still hasn't figured it all out yet. He's just as confused, as if not more so than before. And Sally sends up a little I guess poison wine. I don't know. Little libation. You sure don't want to do St. Patty's Day down? They wouldn't notice if you did that one, And she has an omen, a bad omen. She has a little Christmas tree kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it goes up in flames. Like, bad. It's like, oh no, this is bad. And she goes to see him and tell him about it. And he's like, oh, just the person I want to speak to. You have got a very special assignment. You get to make my costume, my Santa costume. Santa Skellington. And that was a very bad impersonation of Chris Sarandon. It sounded more like one of the guys from South Park. You get to do my costume.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Cartman, right?
Well, that's Cartman. Yeah, what I just did. And so she's like, "No, you're missing the point, Dad. Go sew my costume now." And he goes to Finkelstein, and Finkelstein is like, he goes, you got to make these reindeer things that fly. Oh, okay, I think I can do that. And we know what the outcome of that is. And then we get Shock, Lock, and Barrel, who are three very naughty children. And this is actually kind of a nod to an old Twilight Zone episode where the people put the masks on, and underneath their faces, when they pull the mask off at the end of the episode, they look like the evil masks because they look just like the masks on the inside. And we get probably one of the funniest songs in the movie, which is Kidnap Santa Claus. Santa Claus? I want to do it. Let's draw straws. And again, it's Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, Danny Elfman, and Catherine O'Hara. So, who's also in Beetlejuice? She's the stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
Not Lydia. That's the daughter.
Delia
Dietz.
Dietz.
The Dietz is a ditz. She's so flaky. I love her, and she's so great in the new one too. Anyway, anything Catherine O'Hara does is just very funny.
Oh,
I mean, I just love Catherine O'Hara from Second City Television. I almost said Saturday Night Live. Freudian slip. Second City TV to now. She's adorable. She's just very funny.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting ready. They're getting ready to take over Christmas, and these three kids are given the job of kidnapping Santa Claus and bringing him to Halloween Town so he could relax, so he could take a break, so Jack can take over Christmas. And of course, they live over Oogie Boogie's den of sin. Down below, there's gambling, there's hookers, you know. Oogie Boogie is a bad character.
Mm-hmm. I love the walking bathtub. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they at the end of the song they hop in a bathtub which just starts taking off on its legs. It's one of those old bathtubs that has legs. It just kind of trots off with them.
Yeah, like a clawfoot tub.
Yeah, clawfoot. Yeah.
Clawing away.
They're going down the hill, down the mountain, in their tub, their automatic tub. And again, she's trying to explain to Jack, this is wrong, Jack. You know, you shouldn't do this. This is I sense very terrible things happen. No, it's gonna be great. And he just doesn't understand. You know, he doesn't understand how horrific this is gonna turn out for everybody, including himself. And the thing is it doesn't harm the people of Halloween Town at all, except for the fact that they're going to lose Jack. You know, he's going to, it's going to be his demise, possibly.
I like this little dude has an axe in his head and just, you know.
Yeah, that's the corpse kid, isn't it?
Corpse kid, yeah.
Happy as I die.
Again, that's
like
Debbie
his voice, yeah.
His mom has the same voice. That's probably his mom. That's probably the one with the axe is probably his mom. But she looks just like the little kid. They look the same.
Did you see that movie? I think there was like the Corpse Bride that Tim Burton did. I think they were characters in that movie. I want to say that was later than this, right?
It was.
Yeah, Corpse Bride. Yeah, that was later. Yep.
That was not animated like this one was. I don't think that was stop motion. I think that was just computer animated.
Well, after doing this
have the same feel to it.
I would definitely be looking for alternatives.
Well, I it's the same feel to it. It just doesn't have the same look. But yeah.
I mean, but they were also into it, and it was
well.
really
Since
cool.
you said it took this long to make this movie, I understand why they went to. Let's just go CGI. Let's just do the.
Yeah, I mean, because
a lot quicker.
He doesn't have enough time that he can wait a decade to do every single movie, but this really is a masterpiece in that way. I was watching how they were making the skeletons, like the metal skeletons that went into each of the characters, so they could get the range of movement that they need.
Right.
I mean, there are things that I never thought of before, and somebody said something really interesting, and it was that he loves acting, but he's an extreme introvert. So for him, he gets to act through they call them puppets. And it was just really amazing to watch somebody that in love with this process that takes
introvert. You're talking about Burton, right?
I'm actually talking about, it was one of so there were a number of people that spoke, but they spoke a lot to the people who actually had to figure out how to make each of these,
right.
You know, because some of the range of motion, like they were showing that there's like a ball pin in the neck, right? So that they can go like this. Right. And then some of the joints are just like this, you know, and they like every single finger moves in this, like every detail, and they love it because they feel like they're acting, and they would never want to get on stage. I'm sorry?
80 points of articulation.
It's like
they have action figures.
Love the process. When people say you have to love the process, stop animation.
80 points of articulation.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, those are called armatures, and I think the first guy that kind of perfected it was Willis O'Brien, who did King Kong, the original King Kong.
Right.
Oh,
he developed all the metal, figured that out, and put the rubber.
Ray Harryhausen later.
And Ray Harryhausen later on. Yeah.
And like you said, all the fingers, everything had to move.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they had to create.
Well, and they were saying also that if they're doing like a 10-day shoot and it has, what is it? It's like 7 movements per second for some of these. If they mess up, they have to go back to day 1. Like they can't fill anything in. So they have to make sure that they have anticipated all of those things that are necessary. Yeah. And it just blew my mind that somebody would have that kind of patience and care and be so in love with a process that takes that long. I'm in awe of it. It's
a lot of work. Yeah.
I'm in awe of it.
When you watch like old Ray Harryhausen films with the monsters, they kind of have a movement that looks a little kind of herky jerky. You can actually see kind of, and the same with Kong, the original Kong. However, these characters move so fluidly. So whoever designed the characters that you were talking about, I mean, they perfected it to such a way that it's very smooth how these characters move. The
other thing that Tim Burton insisted on was a ton of cameras everywhere, so that you got the full range of movement, but then you could also change things. So like there are parts where Sally's kind of stumbling because she's upset and she has to, like flee out of her house and whatever. And so they actually did that just by like tilting the camera. And it was just so fascinating to me, like all these little tiny pieces, and that somebody had to think of each one of these. So like, okay, so we can't do that movement, with this structure. So we have to fake it with these cameras this way, and they built an entire set with trap doors so that everybody could access the puppets where they needed to be. And puppets there were not mine, because I don't know enough about puppetry to say what is and isn't puppetry, but it was it's just remarkable. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to just be amazed. On YouTube, the making of Nightmare Before Christmas.
How long is it?
It's only half an hour.
Half an hour. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's fast.
I think that was actually a DVD extra. Yeah, that was on the DVD when it first came out.
Oh, I would totally believe that.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense.
They usually did that with Tim Burton. They would do a making of and put it on the DVD when it first came out.
I mean, I think that if you don't know how they're making it, I think you're missing out, and of course you could watch it and love it, but knowing what went into it. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to our timeline. Sally is watching the town meeting and how they're getting ready to start making Christmas. Making Christmas is another great song from this. Making Christmas. I can't remember which character that was, but I love that. I laughed so hard when I saw this in the theater. Just that little guy popping in going, Making Christmas.
This movie's incredibly charming too. I mean, little things like that.
The characters just, they stand out. They're wonderful. And they were trying to make Halloween not so scary for kids. Some of the scariest kind of concepts of creatures, are in this. Oh, this is where Lock, Shock, and Barrel bring the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what there's like old candy corns and all kinds of like candy in the bag, so it gets stuck on the characters, which I love. It's all in Santa's beard and everything when he comes out later. So he's like, no, that's not the right one. And again, there's a movie right there, Lock, Shock, and Barrel in Eastertown. And then they kidnap the Easter Bunny. Ah! He scares the crap out of him. Do what I asked you.
Come on, Jack. This is a good one.
No. So yeah, there was like 5 heads just for that. What he does there,
Mm-hmm.
where he pulls out his teeth. This is Finkelstein. He's decided to make another female. Evidently, he made Sally to be kind of a companion. like
Sally said
companion.
no.
And she's obviously not going for it. So he's like, anyway, now. He's putting different heads on to try them. And we get one that looks like Finkelstein's shape of his face with the big snout coming out. And Master, I have the plans. Love that. And it's getting closer to Christmas. Because remember, Christmas is only a couple months after Halloween, so doesn't take long.
Yeah.
So Sally's like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I gotta stop this." And whatever year.
No, they're making all the toys and all the weird.
Okay, they're making Christmas.
Yep.
Making Christmas, and they juxtapose it to what's happening in Christmas Town, where they're doing the good stuff and making the good toys and stuff, and cookies. They're making cookies.
Yeah.
It's just Finkelstein bringing
toys are all messed up and
his skull. Yeah, like a duck with like bullet holes and blood on the side.
That's great.
And fangs. And that's a kind of a nod to Batman Returns. There's a big yellow duck in that. The penguin's big duck that he blitzes around in.
That's right.
Is that like from the Batman from the 90s? Like
right.
Yeah, Batman Returns.
I think it was 1990 or 91. Yeah, Batman Returns. The penguin has a big yellow duck that he rides around in, blazes around in. It's like an off-road duck.
Oh, look, that one's kind of like a sandworm. I never realized that.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of nods to
Beetlejuice.
his earlier movies in this. There's Easter eggs everywhere if you look for them.
Yeah.
That is kind of a sandworm. You're
like
right.
Every time you watch it, you notice something else. But yeah, I've never noticed that was like a Beetlejuice.
I don't think it was Burns doing it. I think it was the guys at the puppet shop got bored and they're like, hey, you know what? he'll think this is hysterical. Let's do this. Yeah.
But it works,
Yeah, well, it's fun.
And I mean, if you're gonna spend that much time and put that much effort, like they all really collaborated with each other. They all were like a little family, to make it a little easier.
Get a little more peach tea. The last little drops that I have, the last dregs. All right, what do we got here?
Oh, they're putting together the sleigh, but he's got a coffin.
It's a coffin.
Right. Right. He does a Dracula or a Nosferatu. He comes right up out of the coffin later too. He just rises out like that, like vampires do in some movies. And the reindeer carcasses. They're just the bones. Just the bleached.
Makes sense.
And he's only got like 2 of them, doesn't he? Right? Or 3 of them? Maybe?
3. He's got 3.
He only has a couple. He doesn't have, there isn't like a dead Dasher, a dead Dancer, a dead Prancer. So we finally see Santa Claus. He's looking at his naughty list. He's looking like, there's a lot of naughty ones this year. Mrs. Claus is making cookies, and there's Lock, Shock, Barrel at the front door. Hey, who could that be? Wham! Big plastic bag over you. It's like a big giant Glad bag. So Jack dons his outfit. He doesn't have the hat. So he's like, of course, that's what's missing. When Santa Claus shows up, he takes his hat. Whoop. Swipes it. That's what I needed. And it's one of those beards that hangs over your ears if you have ears. But Jack doesn't have ears. I don't know how it hangs, but
right.
Maybe he has nubs or something that we didn't see.
Glue.
Oh, there's Santa Claus's head.
Oh, there's the candy corn.
He's got like lollipop wrap at his beard.
Oh, he has like an actual. Is that like a large size lollipop?
Yeah, it's like a lollipop.
Yes. Stuck in his beard. And he's like, "Oh, it's time for you to take a vacation. I'm gonna take over Christmas." Oh. And he goes, "Oh, and thank you for the hat." He takes his hat right off his head. Goes, "All right, boys. Take him away and let him relax. Don't take him noogie. Don't take him oogie boogie. Just let him relax." And of course, they take him right to Oogie Boogie because they're bad. They're naughty. All right. So Sally decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create some fog, so he can't take off. And again, this is the Rudolph story rehashed. I thought this part was a bit much. Oh, this is him being shoved down a very small. If he can go down a chimney, he can certainly go down like a sewer pipe. Got a little sewer pipe down to Oogie Boogie's place. Hey, what's going on down here? Hookers, gambling. Well, what have we here? Santa Claus? Ooh, I'm really scared. Ken Page is wonderful in this. It's kind of a nod to Audrey too in Little Shop of Horrors, I think.
Yeah,
that was Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops. So you kind of get that feel to it, and a wonderful little song, the Oogie Boogie song. I'm the Oogie Boogie man. Basically, it's just a burlap sack running around.
mm-hmm.
And we find out later that it's just filled with a bunch of bugs and centipedes and crap. That's just insects all working together, making that body move. He's just evil. And he likes to gamble with other people's lives, of course. And then Lock, Shock, and Barrel like, they're so happy. So, Jack is getting ready to make his ride, and then Sally puts the fog juice in that slimy, I guess, well, for lack of a better. And of course, this is where Zero gets his moment, where he becomes the head of the team with his bright nose. So Jack takes off.
Gets his Rudolph moment there.
I love Zero. Zero's so cute.
He's just a dog, and he's kind of like he's
a Rudolph dog.
The Grinch is for Christmas. Max, the dog that he has, Max.
Right. Yeah.
He's kind of has that same kind of look to him. Later, Burton would do Frankenweenie, which was actually an early story that he did when he was younger, and he developed it. And Frankenweenie is also kind of like a Spuds McKenzie kind of dog with a sharp snout. So Sally's like, "Oh my God, it didn't work." And then she sings the song. She finally sings the song. I'm seeing something in the wind. She senses danger and a problem. So, but Jack is off and running. He's going to do his thing. He's going to do the Christmas thing. So here we get the montage where he's stopping at houses and dropping off his gifts.
Messed up toys.
And one kid wakes up and comes down and is just like terrified. Well, hello there, little man. Freaking. And of course, everybody's calling this one cop. It's just like, what a night. God, James, the phone's ringing off the hook. And we have the evil, that evil cat creature thing is a nod to the cat symbol for the Max Shrek building.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Department store. That's another one of those little Easter eggs. There is an old lady is terrorized by a wreath that he puts on her door. That's an evil wreath. The tree's getting eaten by the sandworm.
Yeah.
Fat kid being chased by a toy. I think is it the duck? No.
That's Jack in the Box.
Oh, it's Jack in the Box.
With the pumpkin. Yep.
Evil pumpkin in the box.
Yep. New from Ronco. Evil pumpkin in a box.
I felt so sorry for that poor kid.
He's just running for his life.
They all start turning up the fires in the fireplace. They're all locking the doors and everything, shutting the windows. The guy's getting more phone calls off the hook. Oh, jeez. So he calls NORAD. You guys keep track of this guy. Well, he's a menace now. Shoot him down. So and there it is. They turn on the searchlights. If you see Santa, shoot to kill. And he's thinking, hey, look, Zero. Oh, 21 gun salute. Jack is kind of an idiot. We go back to Oogie Boogie menacing Santa again. Or you must face the dire consequences. No, that was in the song earlier. Anyway, he's menacing Santa Claus. The end is near, and then Sally comes to save the day. She's put one of her legs there at the front door, and her hands go down the rope. Her body parts move away from her body. She can send her arms or her hands down to do things, and her leg is kind of wagging there in the. He's like, ooh. He goes and checks it, and then he pulls the leg out. And he's, hey, what's going on here? And he stops them from escaping. She almost gets him out of there, Santa out of there, and he stops them. Oogie. So this is the face of, oh my God, they're shooting at me. He realizes that they're not shooting for him, they're shooting at him. And we get a nice little shot there of the gun sight honing in on his coffin and shooting him out of the sky. And he conveniently falls into a cemetery. And they all see it. The pond is which is covered in fog, supposedly, is also kind of like a I don't know, a crystal ball kind of thing where they can actually see what Jack is doing. So they see him get shot out of the sky. And then the news reporter announces Santa Claus is dead. Something of that nature. I paraphrase, but so we get all the reactions from the kids. I know he brought me a toy, but he brought me a bad toy, but he was Santa Claus. So they're not happy. And he sings a song, oh, why did I do it? But the song ends with him doing a little flourish going, well, but I learned a few things. Yes, I did. And I'm ready for next year, with a positive ending. But now he's going to get back to Halloween Town and save Christmas. Oh, geez. So Mr. Oogie Boogie is about to dump Santa Claus and make some Santa Claus stew. Snake and spider Santa Claus stew. So Jack is rushing with Zero and is racing behind him to go back. And evidently he knows that Lock, Shock, and Barrel took him to Oogie Boogie because he goes right to their place. Well, actually, he lives under their place. So he goes there. And what do we got here?
Oogie Boogie's he's rolling the dice or something.
Oh, that's right. He's rolling the dice for Santa Claus, and that's when Jack pops up. Oh, Jack! Okay. And he throws all of the mechanical stuff that he can at him. There's flying knives. There's shooting slot machines and crap. So, and Jack, sidesteps all of it very easily because he's got those long legs, So a piece of Oogie Boogie's, like a string, one of the strings from Oogie Boogie's sack there gets caught, wrapped up in the machinery. And the things are winding around, and it pulls basically the seam out of his outfit, and his outfit falls off, and it's a bunch of bugs. That's all it is, a bunch of bugs and centipedes and praying mantises and stuff like that, and they're all falling down into the snake and spider stew. It's all creepy creepies.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what did you do, Jack?
Oh,
Wait, it's yourself, clumsy bastard. So there he is. That's the face of Oogie Boogie, what he really looks like. And so now Jack has to answer to Santa Claus, the guy he had bagged up with nasty old candy. Jamie Bennett is watching the show. Hello, Cadet Bennett. Good to see you. She joins us when we do Frankenstein movies. She's our Franken expert.
Mm-hmm.
So we can blaze through these. So now he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Next time you feel like taking over somebody else's, holiday, don't."
Don't.
He's such a dick here. I love it. Grabs and snatches his hat back.
Go to St. Patty's Day.
Can you fix it? I'm Santa Claus. Of course I can fix it. And away he goes in a nice little magic flourish. Oh, we're looking up Santa's skirt. It's all glitter up there. It's all fun and games. So Jack realizes that Sally was right. Yeah, there we go. Now, when I said Santa was a dick, you didn't put that up. When I said we're looking up Santa's skirt. Hazard, you're too funny. So he basically tells Sally in a song, that she was right, and he should have known better, and they're going to be a thing, him and Sally now. And they go to the evil. Oh, I'm sorry. No. This is Santa passing over. This is after Santa saves everything. Santa goes back and changes all the toys. In a blaze, a flash, Santa fixes everything. He does. Everything goes back to normal. And Jack tells Sally, you're something. And we get the mayor going from bad to good again. He's such a fun character.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes it snow. Santa makes it snow in Halloween Town so that they get a little something different. So they're all making snow angels and crap. Monsters making snow angels. You got to love that. And rolling, they're rolling each other in the snow. Of course, they do things their way. So it's all like, could be death. Could be deadly. Funny. They're throwing snowballs and such and having fun. Having a little snow fun, the monsters.
Yep.
Werewolf gets a little snow dander on him. Hey! And we're going to see Dr. Finkelstein. And is that him there with his new assistant? His new girl.
Yeah.
His new lady.
Yeah.
He gives her half his brain. The conversations we're going to have. He gives her half his brain. Which is kind of a nod to Young Frankenstein, I think. But he gave you half his. What did he ever give you? You gave him half your wonderful brain. What did he give to you? Oh, at last I found you. So they go to the chocolate kiss there, and they give it a hug and a kiss. And kids are in the movie are going, oh, geez, they had to go there. In front of the moonlight. And it's the happy ending. Sally gets her man. Yeah. And there it is. That's the cast.
Well, Jamie, Cadet Bennett here.
Yep.
She says that Jim McKenzie is one of my favorite artist sculptors that has worked with Tim Burton. And Major Millie informed me that he's actually watching.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well,
So-
Mr. McKenzie, thank you so much for giving us a gander, and you got a little nod there.
Yep.
So
Nice. Thank you.
we enjoyed this training film very much. Again, we
it's fun.
wanted the training films that don't work for us, but the ones that we do work for us, we give them all the credit they deserve. This is a fun movie. It's just a great Christmas. It's a great Christmas movie for kind of for geeks like us. We're into monsters and such.
Yeah.
So-
a little something for us. you
Yeah.
know?
There's a character in there at Halloween Town for everyone, pretty much.
I love the vampires.
The vampires. We didn't mention the vampires. There's 3 of them, and
Yep.
they're funny. They're fun too. In this town we call home, everyone sing to the pumpkins.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this very special episode 160 of our Big Monster Briefing Room. Again, if you'd told me I was going to do a Disney movie on this show, I'd have told you. But there it is. But we did it. And who knows? We might do Corpse Bride someday.
Might do Corpse Bride. Might do Monsters.
The bill. It certainly fits the bill.
Monsters Inc.
All right. So
Ooh, Monsters Inc. That's a good movie too.
Monsters Inc. That's a Disney.
Yeah.
That's a Pixar.
Yeah.
And it's got monsters in the title. So there you go.
Have to do it someday. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching in
Thank
post,
you.
take Miss Alana's Lange's
Thank
advice
you
and
so
go watch
much
the
for
making
having
of
me.
the making of Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a 30-minute YouTube. You'll be amazed at what these guys went through to make this come to life. And thank you so much. Keep an eye out for those big monsters.
This here's Master Sergeant Havoc. Thank you for watching this episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Now, why don't you go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell next time big old giant monster comes calling. See y'all later.